For Trae, each day is a new opportunity. Take a trip to the ATL for your Atlanta Hawks. The Cinderella story of the 2021 NBA season undoubtedly belongs to the Atlanta Hawks, having gone from a bottom feeder the year prior to making it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. As for the regular season, it's safe to say that it was far from smooth sailing for the Atlanta Hawks, but a coaching change and support from their offseason additions helped to propel them to the 27-11 record in their last 38 games. Also, it's safe to say that that success would also trickle into the postseason. There, they were able to take down one of the premier defensive teams in the league in the New York Knicks, take a bow I guess, and would also go on to upset the number 1 seeded 76ers. Mind you that in 2 games in that series, the Hawks trailed by 18 and 26 in games 4 and 5 respectively, and they won both games. And while the Hawks will lose to the future champs in a hard-fought 6 games, they did heavily overachieve and prove why we should still be optimistic about this Hawks team for the near future. But in a revitalized Eastern Conference, how well do the Hawks fare next season? Well, the good news is that they still have all the core players that played a key role in that postseason run. Nate McMillan is here for the foreseeable future, and they presumably have a healthy DeAndre Hunter and Cam Reddish back. At the forefront of the whole operation is a guy called Trae Young, a guy you may have heard of, who completely shattered the empty stat narrative to his name after having a stellar postseason. And while I do think it's unreasonable to expect him to have a significant jump from last season, I fully expect him to continue his stellar play that we've seen from him under coach Nate McMillan. In that 27-11 game stretch under McMillan, Trae actually saw a dip in points per game and field goal attempts per game. But his field goal percentage, true shooting percentage, and offensive rating improved in the process. Not only that, pretty much all the core players on the team saw a boost in field goal percentage as well. Thus, given how deep this roster actually is, especially given the fact that Hunter and Reddish are going to be back, what would be best served for the Hawks is if Trae isn't burdened with having to average 30 points a night, but rather being focused on unlocking the amount of talent that's on the roster. And given McMillan's emphasis on off-ball movement and presumably having a healthy Bogdan Bogdanović for next season, I would also like to see Trae Young attempt more catch-and-shoot 3-point attempts. Trae actually shot very well on catch-and-shoot 3-point attempts in the 2020 season, having converted on 47% of them on 2 attempts. But in the 2021 season, he shot 37%, but only on an unacceptable 1 attempt per game. I feel that more catch-and-shoot attempts will help Trae Young improve upon that 34% from 3 that he shot last season, which isn't indicative of how much of a 3-point threat he actually is, but is still a step back from what we saw in 2020, where he shot 36% on 9 attempts. Moreover, Trae Young has seen an exceptional jump in trajectory, and the sky's the limit for the 22-year-old All-Star. As with Trae, the Hawks also re-signed John Collins to a hefty extension in the offseason. Collins remains one of the most efficient power forwards in the league, continually being a lob threat out there, improving defensively, and being one of the most effective players in transition in the entire league. However, improving in his shot creation and playmaking are the ways in which Collins can take his game to the next level, as they would open even more elements to his game, just like what we saw with Julius Randle last season. Just as with John Collins, Clint Capela is also one of the most effective players in transition and continues to be one of the most underrated players in the league. Last season, he led the league in total rebounds per game, offensive rebounds per game, and was even 3rd in defensive rebounds per game. On top of that, he was 4th in blocks last season and is a major reason why the Hawks have remained above the pits of hell with respect to their defense. Bogdan Bogdanović missed a lot of time last season due to injury, and the hope for the Hawks should obviously be that he has a healthy season, given that he's an efficient player in the backcourt who can assume playmaking duties for this team. Again, this Hawks team is very deep, and I haven't even mentioned Kevin Huerter, Gallo, Sweet Lou, or Gorgui Dieng, and you would be even hard-pressed to try to create minutes for the draft steals in Sharif Cooper and Jalen Johnson. However, the ceiling of this Hawks team next season will ultimately be impacted by how much production they can get out of wings DeAndre Hunter and Cam Reddish. Last season, DeAndre Hunter had a productive and efficient sophomore outing, despite it ultimately being cut down due to injury. However, when he was healthy, he demonstrated to be an improved shot creator and ball handler, and proved to be versatile on both ends of the floor. The Hawks will obviously need him to be healthy in order to shore up that perimeter defense and to just have another versatile body out there. And also, it goes without saying that it'd be advantageous to have a healthy Cam Reddish as well. He struggled mightily from the field the last 2 seasons and was hampered with injury last season as well. However, Cam still has a lot of potential as a 6'8 wing, which is further demonstrated in that Bucks series where he averaged 13 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 steals on 53% from the field, 64% from 3, and 80% from the free throw line. Again, this is only a small sample size of just a few games, but good health and adjusting to Nate McMillan's offense are the keys to Cam having a breakout third year. Overall, this Hawks team is a force to be reckoned with in the Eastern Conference next season. They're not the favorites by any stretch, given that Brooklyn and Milwaukee still exist out there, and teams like the Heat and the Knicks have also strengthened their sides as well. However, this team's depth, internal improvement, and good help will be the ultimate determinants if they want to make it back to a deep playoff run next season. That's it for the video, and thank you guys for watching. Be sure to smash the like button so that this video gets pushed in the algorithm, and feel free to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Thank you guys for your time, and see you guys in the next one. Stay tuned.